The wicketkeeper who caught for legends built a life nobody talks about, until today. Courtney Browne's hands caught thousands of deliveries from the fastest bowlers West Indies ever produced. He stood behind the stumps during one of the most difficult eras in Caribbean cricket history. Then he vanished. No media appearances, no commentary gigs, no public life. While other cricketers from his era stayed in the spotlight, Courtney disappeared completely. What happened to him? Where is he now? And what is he really worth after years away from cricket? Today, you're getting answers that nobody has given before. This is the untold story of one of West Indies cricket's forgotten wicketkeepers. May 11, 1970. Courtney Oswald Browne was born in Barbados, the cricket factory of the Caribbean. Barbados isn't just another island. It's the birthplace of cricket legends. Garfield Sobers, Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner, Desmond Haynes. The list goes on forever. Being born in Barbados means cricket is in your blood. It's not a choice. It's destiny. Young Courtney grew up watching Barbados dominate regional cricket. He played on the same beaches where future legends practiced. Cricket wasn't just a game. It was the pathway to respect, recognition, and escape from ordinary life. But here's the challenge. In a place producing world-class batsmen and bowlers constantly, how do you stand out? Courtney made a smart decision early. He became a wicketkeeper. Wicketkeeping is a specialized skill that requires completely different abilities than batting or bowling. Fast reflexes, concentration for hours, ability to read the game, physical endurance, and mental toughness because every mistake is visible and criticized. Most cricketers don't want to keep wickets. It's too demanding, too pressured. Courtney saw opportunity where others saw burden. He developed his wicketkeeping through hours of practice, standing behind local bowlers, catching tennis balls thrown at varying speeds and angles, building the muscle memory needed to catch balls traveling at 90 miles per hour. Wicketkeeping isn't natural. Your instinct is to move away from a ball coming fast toward your face. Courtney had to train his body to move toward danger, not away from it. This psychological training was as important as physical training. By his late teens, Courtney was keeping wickets for Barbados youth teams. His talent was obvious. Clean catches, quick stumpings, ability to stand up to medium-pace bowlers, which requires incredible bravery and skill. But wicketkeeping alone doesn't guarantee selection. You must also contribute with the bat. Courtney worked on his batting constantly. He wasn't a natural stroke maker, but he developed a solid defensive technique. He could occupy the crease, frustrate bowlers, and score useful runs lower in the batting order. His breakthrough came in his early 20s when he was selected for Barbados' senior team in regional Caribbean cricket. This was significant. Barbados had multiple wicketkeeper options. Competition was fierce. Getting selected meant he was among the best in the entire Caribbean. He performed consistently. His wicketkeeping was reliable. His batting provided valuable contributions. Regional selectors noticed. By the mid-90s, Courtney Browne was being discussed as a potential West Indies wicketkeeper. 1994 arrived. Courtney was 24 years old. West Indies cricket was in transition. The legendary team of the 80s was breaking up. New players were needed urgently, but the expectations remained impossibly high. New players weren't just replacing ordinary cricketers. They were replacing legends. The pressure was crushing. Courtney made his Test debut against India in November 1994. Imagine that moment. Wearing the maroon cap, keeping wickets to world-class batsmen. This was everything he'd worked for his entire life. His debut was solid. Not spectacular, but competent. He caught what needed catching. He didn't make embarrassing mistakes. His batting contributed some runs. For a debut, this was acceptable. But West Indies cricket in the mid-90s was chaos. The team was declining rapidly. Results were poor. Players were being selected and dropped constantly. Stability didn't exist. Courtney found himself in and out of the team regularly. He'd play a few matches, get dropped, play again months later, get dropped again. This instability destroys confidence. Between 1994 and 2002, Courtney played 21 test matches. Spread over 8 years, that averages less than 3 tests per year. This tells the story of his international career. Never a regular, always competing for his place, never feeling secure. He also played 44 one-day internationals during the same period. Again, spread over 8 years, this shows inconsistent selection. He was good enough to be selected occasionally, but never good enough to be indispensable. His wicket-keeping statistics were respectable. In tests, he took 47 catches and completed 6 stumpings. In ODIs, he took 43 catches and 8 stumpings. These numbers aren't spectacular by international standards, but they're competent. He did his job. The problem wasn't his wicket-keeping. The problem was his batting. In Test cricket, he averaged just over 16 runs per innings. That's poor even for a wicket-keeper batting at number 7 or 8. West Indies needed wicket-keepers who could contribute more with the bat. Competition for the wicket-keeper position was constant. Junior Murray, Ridley Jacobs, Carlton Ball, all these wicket-keepers were competing for the same spot. When one failed, another got a chance. Then back to the first one. Then a third option. West Indies Cricket Board couldn't find stability in any position during this era. The constant changes meant no player could develop consistency. Courtney suffered from this chaos like everyone else. The real challenge of his era was the bowlers he kept to. Curtly, Ambrose, and Courtney Walsh were still playing. These were express-fast bowlers. Standing 20 yards behind them meant the ball reached you in less than half a second. One moment of lost concentration means a missed catch, dropped chance, or injury. Courtney kept wickets to these legends, which is an achievement in itself. But he also kept to younger, less consistent bowlers who sprayed the ball everywhere. This inconsistency made wicket-keeping even harder. His international career ended in 2002. He was 32 years old. No dramatic ending. No farewell match. No acknowledgement of his service. One day he was in consideration for selection, and the next day he simply wasn't. This is how most cricket careers end. Quietly, unceremoniously, without recognition. Courtney had given 8 years to West Indies cricket. He'd sacrificed his body, dealt with constant uncertainty, and represented his country with dignity. The reward was silence and being forgotten. After international cricket ended, Courtney continued playing domestic cricket for Barbados. He played in regional Caribbean competitions for several more years. The money in domestic cricket was minimal compared to international cricket, but it was still income. More importantly, it kept him connected to the game he loved. Many cricketers struggle with the transition from international to domestic cricket. The crowds are smaller. The media attention disappears. You go from being somebody to being nobody almost overnight. He eventually transitioned into coaching and development work in Barbados. The big question everyone asks, what is Courtney Browne worth today? This is difficult to answer because he's maintained complete privacy. Unlike modern cricketers who post their lives on social media, Courtney has stayed invisible. No Instagram showing houses and cars. No Facebook posts about lifestyle. Complete silence. But we can make educated estimates based on career. Earnings and typical post-cricket income for someone in his position. His international cricket career from 1994 to 2002 would have earned him modest income. West Indies Cricket Board payments during the 90s were notoriously poor. Players weren't paid well. Match fees for tests might have been $5,000 to $10,000 per match. ODI fees were less. Over 21 tests and 44 ODIs, his total match fees probably totaled less than $500,000 over 8 years. That's approximately $60,000 per year, and he wasn't playing full years consistently. Domestic cricket for Barbados paid even less. Regional cricket in the Caribbean might pay a few $1,000s per season. This provided basic income but not wealth. After retirement from playing, coaching positions in Barbados cricket development programs pay modest salaries. Youth coaching might pay $30,000 to $50,000 annually. Senior coaching positions pay more, but there's no evidence Courtney held top coaching positions. Real estate in Barbados provides some context. If Courtney invested wisely during his playing days, property in Barbados has appreciated significantly over the past 2 decades. A modest property bought in the early 2000s for $100,000 might be worth $300,000 or more today. If he owns his home and perhaps one investment property, this could represent substantial net worth. Conservative estimates put Courtney Browne's current net worth somewhere between $500,000 to $1 million. This comes from accumulated cricket earnings, coaching income over 20 years, potential property investments, and savings. This isn't spectacular wealth by international cricket standards, but it represents financial stability. He's not struggling. He's not wealthy. He's comfortable, which for most former West Indies cricketers from his era is actually a success story. His lifestyle today appears quiet and private. He lives in Barbados. No reports of flashy cars or luxury properties. No public appearances or media interviews. He's involved in cricket development work, which means he's giving back to the sport that gave him a career. This low-profile lifestyle is actually smart. It avoids the trap many former athletes fall into of trying to maintain a lifestyle they can no longer afford. Courtney lives within his means, which is wisdom many people lack. Family information about Courtney is scarce. He's maintained strict privacy about personal life, no public information about marriage, children, or family situation. This privacy is rare in modern sports where everyone shares everything online. Courtney comes from an era where cricketers didn't discuss personal lives publicly. He's maintained that approach. Whether this is preference or deliberate strategy, it's kept his family life protected from public scrutiny. His wicket-keeping legacy is complicated. He played during a difficult transition period for West Indies cricket. The team was declining. Results were poor. Individual performances often got lost in team failures. Courtney was a competent wicketkeeper during a time when West Indies needed exceptional players. Competent wasn't enough. His batting never developed to the level required for international cricket. These factors mean he's remembered as an average wicketkeeper rather than a great one. But context matters. Keeping wickets to Ambrose and Walsh, two of the fastest bowlers in cricket history, requires enormous skill and courage. Standing behind the stumps for hours in Caribbean heat, maintaining concentration, catching chances cleanly. This is harder than most people realize. Courtney did this job competently for 8 years at international level. That deserves respect even if his statistics aren't memorable. Comparing Courtney to modern wicketkeepers shows how the position has evolved. Today's wicketkeepers are expected to be genuine batsmen who can score centuries and win matches. Think MS Dhoni, Adam Gilchrist, Kumar Sangakkara. They revolutionized the position. In Courtney's era, wicketkeepers were specialists first, batsmen second. The expectations were different. Courtney met the expectations of his era, even if those expectations seem limited now. His post-cricket career in coaching and development represents valuable contribution that doesn't generate headlines. Every young wicketkeeper he's trained, every technique he's taught, every insight he's shared contributes to Barbados and West Indies cricket. This grassroots work builds the foundation for future success. Without coaches like Courtney passing on knowledge, the pipeline of talent dries up. His current work might be more important than his playing career. The cricket world has largely forgotten Courtney Browne. He doesn't appear in documentaries about West Indies cricket. He's not invited to commentary positions. He doesn't get featured in cricket media. This anonymity is partly about his relatively short and unremarkable international career. But it's also about his choice to remain private. Unlike former teammates who stayed in public eye through media work, Courtney chose obscurity. Whether this bothers him or not, nobody knows. What really happened to Courtney Browne? He had a modest international cricket career during a difficult era. He earned limited income from cricket. He transitioned into coaching and development work. He built a quiet, stable life in Barbados. He avoided the spotlight completely. He maintained privacy about personal life. He's likely worth between $500,000 to $1 million. He lives comfortably but not luxuriously. He gives back through youth cricket development. He's content being forgotten by the wider cricket world. His story represents the reality for most professional cricketers. Not everyone becomes a legend. Not everyone earns millions. Not everyone stays famous after retirement. Most cricketers are like Courtney. They play for a few years. They earn modest income. They transition to coaching or other work. They live quiet lives. They're forgotten by everyone except those who played with them. This isn't failure. This is normal. This is what happens to 99% of professional athletes. The lesson from Courtney's story is about managing expectations and finding contentment. He didn't become a cricket legend. He didn't earn millions. He didn't achieve lasting fame. But he represented his country. He played Test cricket. He kept wickets to legends. He built a stable life after cricket. He's financially comfortable. He's giving back to cricket. By any reasonable measure, this is success. The problem is, we measure success against the exceptional, not the normal. Courtney Browne's lifestyle today is deliberately unremarkable. His career was good, but not great. His family life is private and protected. His net worth is modest but sufficient. His wicket-keeping legacy is being a competent professional during difficult times. In 2025, he's a forgotten name from a forgotten era of West Indies cricket. But he's alive, healthy, financially stable, and contributing to his community. That's more than many former cricketers can say. Remember Courtney Browne not as a failed cricketer, but as a realistic example of what most professional sports careers actually look like. Not everyone gets the fairy tale ending. Not everyone builds empires. Not everyone stays famous. Most people play their sport, earn some money, transition to regular work, and live normal lives. Courtney did exactly that. His story is ordinary, and that's exactly why it's important. The ordinary stories teach us more than the exceptional ones. If you want more real stories about forgotten cricketers and what really happened to them after the spotlight faded, subscribe now and hit that notification bell so you never miss the truth behind the headlines.